To start, we have these little containers. They hold a spoon and a fork inside of it. So what I'm thinking is that I would like, originally I was going to put it outside, but I think it might be a little bit too, unless I put it here, but I don't want to interfere with the bello banana. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the names inside here, and I'm also going to put it on the back here. So I'm going to put it on the backing, probably on the side here, in the smaller area. There is a little groove here, so I have to calculate for that. And on the fork and the spoon, I may just use Sharpies to write the names, just because of the shape as well as the writing here. If I were to do, let's say, an initial like an S here, it would look a little wonky, I think. So I think for the cutlery itself, I might just use a Sharpie for it. But we're going to put decals on these containers. The other container I'm going to do is, my daughter got this as a gift for Christmas, so we are going to put her name on this as well. So I figured out that I'm going to put it on this space here, and I'm also going to put it on the base. So I'm going to use the biggest space that I have, a surface, and then I'm going to do one here, and on the other side I'm going to do one as well. And when you open it, it has this little container in here for like sauces or condiments or whatever. So we are also going to put her name here. So I'm either going to put her full name here or just her initials. I'm not 100% sure yet. When I size it, I'll have an idea of which I would do. So let's start off with these little guys. I'm just gonna set these aside, and we're gonna measure this here. Now my kids have short names, so that helps as well. This looks like maybe 1 1/4 inches can be done here, and for here, see, we still run into the same issue with this, and I don't want to go over that. So if I were to do it here, it would be about 3 1/4. So 1 1/4 on the sides. If I were to do it inside, I could do it inside here in this little groove. If I do it inside, I'll do it at 3 1/4 to give myself some space on either side. So that's something to consider. And maybe since I'm doing it on the inside of this one, maybe that's what I'll do. So I'll make both of them the same size. I won't bother to size that. So okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the name inside here, and I'm going to do 3 1/4 inches wide. So 3 1/4 inches wide, and I don't want it any bigger than or any taller than, let's see, 1 1/4 inches tall, right? So you don't want it to be too tall either. So I think 1 inch is a nice size for height, maximum height that I'll go to. Okay, so we're gonna do that for this and this. Next, I'm gonna size this guy. Let me just write down the measurements. So now for this container, I'm gonna put the name here. So we're gonna measure and see what's a nice sizing. There's a little groove here, so you don't want to get onto the groove. Ooh, it looks like the sizing is going to be pretty much the same. So this is 3 1/2. So I could do this one 3 1/2, and it will come pretty close to the edges. This is flat, so this should be fine. For this project, I'm opening up Design Space on my iPad. I'm starting with the names for the cutlery containers. First, I want to look for a cute font. I like this one, BFC Hayride. Now that I have my font, I'm going to adjust the sizing. I made the width 3.25 inches, but that changed the height to over 1 inch, and I don't want that. Instead, I'm going to adjust the height to be a maximum height that I want, which is 1 inch. The same thing happens with Alexi's name. The height is greater than 1 inch when I make the width 3.25. So I'm going to make the height of this one the same as the other one, 1 inch. Now I want to make the names the same sizing. For the name Seth, it's 76.63. For the name Lexi, it's 84.21. I'm going to change set zone to 84.21. So they're now both the same font size. And if I overlay them like this, then the letters are actually, you can see it here with the E's, the letters are actually the same size. That is perfect. I'm going to change the colors of these names. I'm going to choose a blue because I'm thinking of using a blue vinyl that I have. So this is a nice color blue. And then I'm going to create a text box and I'm going to put cutlery containers. And this is just going to be a subheading so that it organizes my workspace. That way I wouldn't get confused later on. Next, I'm preparing the names for the lunchbox. I'm going to add another text box and type in the name Lexi. Then I'm going to look for another cute font. I like this one, BFC Funhouse. Now to adjust the sizing. When I measured the container, I decided the max width I want to use is 3.5 inches. This makes the font size 122.33. I'm going to adjust the font size a bit to 120. I like that. Now I'm going to change the color, then duplicate it to make the other size decals. For this one, I want to use 2 inches for the width, but I want the height to be 1 inch max. And I'm going to duplicate this because I want 2 of this size. I'm going to duplicate it one more time so that I can do the label for the little white container. But for this one, I'm going to use the initials instead, not the full name. So I'm just going to add in LJ here. I don't like how close the letters are looking, so I'm going to space them out a little bit. So use the letter spacer and make some space between the 2 letters. And I'm going to duplicate this too because I'm not sure if I'm going to do one for the lid and for the base, but I'm just going to print 2 so that way I have both. I'm adding a title here as well so that my workspace is organized and makes sense to me. And then I'm going to save, and now it's time to make it. I decided to use black vinyl instead of the blue. I'm going to use Cricut Smart Vinyl in matte black. This is permanent vinyl and it's also a smart material, which means I don't have to use a cutting mat. I'm cutting the names for the cutlery containers first, and I need 2 copies of each one. I need one for the lid and one for the bottom. So I'm going to go into the matte settings and I'm going to change it from here and change project copies to 2. Please excuse me for doing this one-handed. I don't have an overhead tripod, so I'm actually holding the camera in my left hand and I'm trying my best to read with my right hand. Eek! I need to put on the camera because I need both my hands for this last little bit. I don't think I ever weeded vinyl with one hand before. I guess there's a first time for everything. There we go, perfecto. I have 2 of each name for each of the cutlery containers, and now it's time to apply them to the containers. To apply the decals onto the containers, I'm using my weeding tool, scissors, scraper, rubbing alcohol, transfer tape, and a cloth. I'm wiping the inside of the containers and the lids to remove any dust. Then I'm going to spray them with rubbing alcohol. I set it aside to dry before applying the decals. I measured and cut a piece of transfer tape to use for the names. I'm using the Cricut Strong Grip transfer tape. I realized it is too strong for this vinyl and the letters keep raising. I'm doing my best to apply them without damaging them. Strong Grip transfer tape is used for other vinyls like shimmer vinyl and glitter vinyl. Those are materials that need a lot more grip, but this is what I had in stock, so I gave it a try. I found a piece of regular transfer tape that I got from Tech Wrap, I think, so I'm going to try that. This one works much better. Time to do the names for the lunchbox. I am using a holographic vinyl. This is not a smart vinyl, so I'm using a cutting mat. I like to use this opal holographic vinyl for any unicorn themed crafts. It seems to suit the unicorn theme very well. I wipe the containers with a cloth to remove dust or anything that will interfere with the application of the decals. Then I'm going to spray the containers with rubbing alcohol before applying the decals. These came out great. A simple way to customize lunchboxes. I'm happy with how they came out and I'm sure the kids will love them too. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you and I will see you in the next video. See you soon. Bye.